Honourable Taylor Martin.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is to the Leader of the Government. Earlier this year, the Premier travelled to Wamberal on the Central Coast, where he intervened in the Council's work with residents to build a structure to bring an end to coastal erosion at Wamberal Beach. He informed attendees that a Minns government will not cooperate with Council and residents, and instead offered his view that works similar to those around Newcastle Harbour and Stockton were his personal preference for Wamberal. Last month, a Central Coast councillor and their husband were charged by police after they physically confronted a resident who was placing rock bags in their backyard to save their property. Last week, the Auditor-General released a scathing report slamming the state government's handling of coastal management and erosion via the Department of Climate Change, Energy, the Environment and Water. Does the government have a plan to give certainty to residents losing their homes due to inaction, bureaucracy and local council politics?
The Leader of the Government.
It is a great question, and I do like the optimism that somehow we can manage the Central Coast Council conflict that seems to be quite ongoing. But we're trying, and we are actually working really closely with them. This is actually a very serious matter, and it does have impact. And I think that the unfortunate incident that people saw last week shows that the heightened tensions within the community are not helpful, and it's not good. That's where this has landed. A couple of things I wanted to say. First of all, in relation to the audit report, the reason why we have the New South Wales Auditor and the audit reports is to tell us when we're not getting things right. And I think that it was very clear about the changes that need to be made and the improvements that need to be made in relation to the coastal management performance. Coastal management is extremely complicated. It is challenging for councils, as it is also challenging for my department. But I just want to reassure the member that the government supports all 5 recommendations that were made and that work is already underway. We want to make the practical actions to improve how we deliver the coastal management program done. My department is already working on the implementation plan for that management framework that needs to be put in place that we hope will help. The second thing in relation to Wamberal, and I do want to say this, is that myself and Janelle Saffin in particular, there's a bunch of us that it crosses across a range of portfolios, but we are working closely with Central Coast Council to manage the erosion issues. Again, I would indicate that there is significant conflict within the community about how we deal with it. The ability for people to protect their own private land is not in contention here. What is in contention is what else goes outside onto public land in relation to whether walls or the various types of treatments that you can have, whether it's sand nourishment or all of those things. We continue to do that. We have the New South Wales Reconstruction Authority has provided council with the ability to install temporary protections while it finishes its coastal management plan. So we are working in an ongoing way with this. I do accept that there are challenges in relation to the local community, and we've also just had increasing weather events. I would point to members, I know so there are a few sceptics in this place, that climate change is real and that climate change is impacting on coastal erosion as we're having more events that are actually meaning that we've got both sea level rise and increasing weather events that are impacting on erosion in a way that we haven't seen. We've always seen a bit of erosion, but we haven't seen the frequency with which we are seeing it, and those extreme weather events are making all of that harder. So the point I just want to say to the members, yes, we accept that we need to do better. The audit report is actually welcome from my part of the world, which is how do we actually make this work better over time. Coastal erosion, people in New South Wales love their beaches, live close to the coast, but are seeing the impacts of erosion all the time. We are working with councils on their plans. I continue to give some councils longer to actually get their plans in place, but once they've got them